Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. JC here with another video on Action Taimanin. Today we'll talk about Astaroth's builds. So, to start with, we are going to go to the Arena Tower to try these builds. I'm gonna go with a blue build to start because blue, it's an acceptable build. It is okay, but it is not a high-end build. You cannot use it on VR because of the critical resistance that the boss have. So, you have two good supporters in the form of Onigumo and Amane, and you're gonna have damage against both demon enemies and machine enemies. There's the option of using Maika, but there's some disadvantages about using her. Number one, she's only going to affect your damage when the enemy is debuffed, and number two, she's only going to affect your skill damage. So that's a thing. There's Noah, of course, if you want to restore HP, but I wouldn't recommend her because the benefit about using Noah is that she increases damage against snared enemies, and Astaroth doesn't snare enemies by herself. You can use it as a sub slot supporter if you have Keito. Keito, it is a good option. She's a good option as the main slot because she snares enemy and she also increases damage and critical rate of range attacks against snared enemies. There's also Arabella. The problem with Arabella is that in normal stages you're not going to be receiving any kind of benefit. Only you receive a damage increase against the boss. So for BR is good. For maybe the challenging content is good, but for dailies, no. Then there's Nanase. Nanase is good if you're going with a debuff strategy because Flamethrower hits very fast. And you're gonna be doing an additional 200% damage. It's a 5% chance. I know it's low, but with the speed you're attacking, it is okay to use this supporter. And of course, for this would be for, I don't know, VR maybe if you want to go blue. Arabella and Nanase for VR is excellent. But you have to rely on your other characters to inflict debuffs on the enemy. And for less challenging content or daily quests, you can use Reina. Reina is good because she increases critical damage. I'm gonna use her. The critical damage of range attacks. And to finish, I'm going to use, well, there's not that many options. You can always use this one. You can use Sakuya, but you don't want to go defensive. I guess I could, but no, I'm gonna use Kirara. Onisaki Kirara is probably one of the best units you can use with Astaroth. If you get hit, you are going to recover HP. And she also increases damage of demon type characters. I only have her 3-5, but it's a 30% boost. That's very big, considering that she has another effect. So with this, it should be more than enough. Let's go with the sports outfit. Blue. Fitting, okay? And now I'll try to avoid using Fire Wave because this is the main damage skill that you're going to use. But I don't want to showcase that. I'm going to use Supernova. I'm going to use Lava Serpent. And These skills, both Flame Haze and Phoenix Dive, usually you don't want to use them in challenging content. But for dailies or for lower challenging content, it's fine because you're going to survive if you get hit. On VR, you're not going to survive if you get near the enemy. There's a great benefit in these skills. For example, with green, it increases damage, and with red, it terrorizes the enemy. You can burn the target, which is going to be okay because with some builds we relied on debuffs, so that's okay. And this one is going to reduce damage taken with green, increase damage of the skill with blue, and terrorize the target. In my case, it's gonna go with Phoenix Dive, just to burn the enemy. Reduce the enemy's damage. Yeah. We don't want to use Prominence, like, never, because you have to take a hit to use that. That's not ideal with Astaroth, that she doesn't have that much HP recovery, okay? So, starting with blue. Let's see how we do in floor 75. Oh, yeah, of course. Weapon is, of course, Nifrinka. It is super super level up. As you can see, it's full critical damage. And the same UR Magatamas on both sides. I don't have that many. Well, in general, Astaroth doesn't have that many good weapons. You can use the Christmas weapon against demon type characters, that's good, but as usual, S level is very important. You can also use this one. It is better against demons and it gives a buff to Lava Servant, but it doesn't have an active. And this freezes the enemy, which is going to double your damage. And probably the best weapon for all kind of content is going to be Undying Apophis. I think that's the way to say it. So the good thing about this one is that you get a general 20% damage increase, which is lower than this or this, than Nifrinkas or Arachne's Bracelet, depending on the context. But I don't know, against machines, on dailies, maybe you want to use this one. So I'm going to use Nifrinka, and let's see how the run goes. So this is going to be very quick. As you saw, I'm using critical supporters, and she deals a good amount of damage. But now it's time to see. Oh yeah, 3 million. That's fine. I just want to take out the super armor, and then... but they were far away. You can see the area of effect of this skill of Supernova. It is not very big, but if you make all the enemies get around you... For example, I have Phoenix Dive, right? So I'm gonna use Phoenix Dive. No, that was Lava Serpent. Then like this. And... whoops. Deleted most of them. Then I use the active. Stop that. Phoenix Dive. Supernova. No one was there because of the snare. Okay. Skillful, as usual. So... okay, if you don't crit, it's not gonna do too much damage. But maybe we can... oh. Phoenix Dive. And then she is dead. Okay, that's a thing. So, for both red and blue builds, the main appeal of these builds is that you can deal a lot of damage in a small area. Well, blue is smaller than red, but you deal a huge amount of damage Now we're gonna go with red. For red, there's a lot of options. So one of the better ones that you can use for anything but BR is Anaros. Why her? Because she has a chance to restore HP. Okay, so that's another healing effect for Astaroth, because she doesn't heal HP by herself. If you want to heal, but if not, then you can use pure damage. That's fine. So this also increases critical damage. I'm gonna go with a different build rather than doing only critical damage. I'm going to go for pure damage. So fortitude increases with buffs, increases damage to disarm. No, increases damage dealt by 6% per enemy nearby. If on the tower, this is not that bad, considering that there's a bunch of enemies and they do have a substantial amount of HP, but for VR obviously it's not going to work. If you rely on debuffs, this is fine, along with Susune. Both Chris Maschiaro and Susune are excellent. If you rely on skill damage, you can use this. For red, is not a bad option because the flame pit is going to do most of the damage. Astaroth original limited supporter is fine, I think, with red because she burns the enemies. But I don't have too many copies, so I don't get that much benefit from using this. Astaroth is one of the few characters who really benefits from actually these kind of supporters. The one that give you a 50% increase for a small amount of time, because she usually deals AoE damage and she does a huge amount of damage. So if you want to use this one, Aizawa Ao is fine. There's also the green one that is the big girl, which is damage to humans. Increases damage taken of human type characters by 30%. So those are okay for Astaroth because of her gameplay. There's also Stella, which as a generalistic damage increase character is fine. As a generalistic increase supporter. There's also Shirayuki. Shirayuki increases damage for demons. And there's a bunch. You can use Lina if you have her with a higher level than mine. You can use who? This one, Granny, and also this one, Nino. Both of them are great. You can use Spica if you want to use the invincibility. For dailies, it's okay because you're going to increase the critical damage and maybe you're going to crit on dailies. There's many other supporters that you can use which work for critical. Many red supporters, I mean. Of course, we have the option of using Homura if you don't have other UR supporters, or Faust. Then, lastly, you can also use Hibiki. Hibiki increases damage dealt with normal attacks to enemies with a 40% debuff. It is not that impressive if I don't rely on the flamethrower, but it is another option. So I'm gonna go with this one. It gives more HP. So on the main slot, I'm gonna go with this one because it debuffs, it reduces the speed of the enemy. I'll go with the dragon one. And for skills, I'm just going to change Supernova for Hellblaze. Lava Serpent, let's see. Terrorize the target. Yeah, that's fine, especially with Nifrinka. And Phoenix, terrorize the target. So, terror. So, with all of this, I'm gonna be able to terrorize the target, and I can also increase my damage, even though I'm not using Serpent Blaze, which I could use Serpent Blaze actually. Even though, let's see, instead of using Flame Haze, I'm gonna use Serpent Blaze. I don't get the benefit of using the green supporters, but I do get the benefit of using the skill with the weapon. So even though it sounds counterproductive, I have, before Astaroth received the limited weapon, I have already used Serpent Blaze without having any kind of green supporters, because that skill also deals a huge amount of damage. So it's fine to use it even if you don't have green supporters. Now let's see how good it is. And again, all my skills are going to inflict terror, so it's gonna be busted. Now I just do this, and as you can see, it is a huge area of effect, and you're gonna deal too much damage for the enemy to survive. Obviously my basic attacks are not that great because I don't have the flamethrower, but I don't want to showcase the basic attack only. I also want to showcase the skills. And as you saw, she gets a lot of super armor. Let's see, I'm just going to wait for my cooldowns. Good for you. Now there we go. Oh, I don't know when I killed Sakura, but I did. Okay. Nice. So yeah, Serpent Blaze is just that busted. If you want to use it without green supporters, it's okay to do so. Especially if you have Nifrinka, because you're going to get the benefit of terrorizing the enemy. Which it also increases the damage of the weapon. Now, talking about green, green is probably the best one. And there are two kinds of builds. The problem is that the main build is going to be critical, because green revolves around critical. So you can use a character like, yes, like Yuno. Also, who at the beginning, yeah, Kaoru, and there's also you can use the other Kaoru, but I don't have her. Wait, this is no the other Kaoru, no, the Nano. You can use Nano, but the problem with this one is that I don't have her at 5/5. It increases damage dealt of range attacks by 40% when you have her 5/5. So she's probably one of the best supporters you can use because of the raw damage increase on range attacks. Unfortunately, I only have her with one copy, so it's the same as using this one, Misaki, which I'm going to use Misaki because she increases damage by 50% on critical for bosses and 20 as a general damage increase. So I didn't change the critical Magatamas. Oops, I forgot that. Well, I'm gonna go with critical Magatamas one more time just to see the difference between these two. Phoenix Dive for dailies is fine in green. It increases your damage. This one is also okay because it reduces your damage taken. Prominence makes the enemy groggy. Nope, I wouldn't. Again, you have to receive a hit. Lava Serpent. Familiar attack reduces the enemy speed. Yes, this one is probably the best one. Depending on the situation, because sometimes the HP recovery is also good. I mean, it's small, but you never know when bleed is going to be a nuisance. But right now I'm gonna go with Lava Serpent. So let's see how that works. So yeah, they just exploded. Yeah, green one is the best one. And as you can see, all of my attacks are crits. Kind of guaranteed. Now I'm gonna activate invincibility so that I don't get interrupted. Okay, there were some attacks that were not crits, but yeah, I mean, it is just that good. Unfortunately, you cannot use this build on VR. I mean, on the lower levels you can, but on the higher levels you want to change this build to something that focuses on damage increasing. So we would have to remove these two, even though invincibility is good. And that's why I use Astaroth's limited supporter along with Sora. I mean, you can also use Misaki, of course, on VR if you have her, and Sora too. If you don't have Misaki, if you don't have Sora, then you can use Akane. Yep, Akane is another option. So instead, this time I'm going to change the Magatamas, but I have to find the demon type Magatamas. So I'm going to go here. Magatamas. You are equipped? No. They are unequipped? Yeah? Let's see. Okay, so... Nope. Yes. Uh-huh. Another one more. Yes. There we go. And whatever max for this. There we go. Okay. Now with that out of the way, let's go back here to see how Astaroth does. Everything ready? Yeah. Max. Green. Green for damage. Let's go with this one. If you want to check the limited pack skin. Oops. It was here. There we go. So yeah. This is gonna be as fast, if not faster, than before. Because I also do crits due to the weapon level. But I'm going to deal even more damage because of the Magatamas, which specialize on this kind of enemy. And with this, it's done. You don't need to use the other skills. Basically, Serpent Blaze does all the work. But I'm gonna do that one more time. But this time, I'm going to use Phoenix Dive. So I do this, and then I hit and erase. It's a small damage increase, but in the long run, it's going to be beneficial. How slow? Come on. You can also use this after doing Phoenix Dive or before doing Phoenix Dive. You can use the supporter's skill to gain super armor, not get interrupted once you are near the enemy, and then attack with Serpent Blaze with the damage increase of Phoenix Dive. So yeah, and that's about it for the kind of builds you can use with her. Technically, there's other builds, but for VR, for example, let's see, I haven't done VR today, so let's say I reduce it to 30, and I'm going to still do this. Yeah, with this build, everything is the same as yesterday, but I'm going to change it. Rather than using green supporters, I'm going to be using blue supporters for starters. And I don't know. I want to use Noah to see how much benefit I get from that. But I already have Felicia in the team, so I don't think that would be that much of a difference because I'm not going to be getting extra HP. So yeah, instead, I'll use who? Where is the Christmas one? Here she is. And this one. And I need critical rate, if possible. I doubt there's anyone who can give me critical rate. I mean, there's this, but 8%? No, that's not enough. I prefer to use Arabella. Instead of Serpent Blaze, I use Supernova. I still use Fire Wave. Satellite, increase damage. Nope. Increase, yeah, could be. And no. I'll go with this one. So let's see. How is it going to work? I lowered the level because I know that these builds aren't as strong as the green one. So I don't want to risk losing my character before I farm my dailies. But it also has full damage Magatamas. Let's see how much. Oh yeah, it's not looking good. As you can see, I'm not critting enough for it to get the benefit of the supporters I'm using. So that's kind of the main reason I don't recommend her. And look. Oh, come on. The moment I use my skill, the moment she decides to jump. And another problem of using other colors is that I'm focusing the Spider Queen. And that spider is alive and it's constantly attacking me because I don't have Serpent Blaze. Maybe I should equip Serpent Blaze even though I'm I'm not going to receive the benefit of the supporters, of all the green supporters. Here you go. And yeah, it is not that huge of a difference. Oh. You see? It is definitely not the best option to use blue. If I had, let's say, Onigumo, 5/5, Arabella, 5/5, and which one? Another good. Well, maybe not another damage supporter because I don't I can't think of anyone, but maybe Sakuya just to fill in. That would be a better build than this one. A 4 PR. I mean, this is pretty okay for dailies and events, even for tower, as you saw, but here it is not. So yeah, I mean, I survived, but because of Felicia, mainly because of Felicia. Ooh, yeah, very good, nice damage. So yeah, I'm able to farm this if I want, but look at how much HP I lost. So now let's try it with red. With red, red is easier for VR. It is not optimal like green, but it is acceptable. So, do I want to use? Yeah, I'm going to use flamethrower this time. And let's see, I'm going to use this to increase basic. And I'm going to use this. And I'm going to use this. So, yeah. This is going to deal more damage because, as I said yesterday, this composition is supposed to inflict debuffs on the enemy. Let's see, is there another good debuff? Reduce damage taken, terrorize the enemy. I could use reduce the target's defense. Yeah, I prefer to use prominence here. This is very specific because usually you don't want to use prominence, but in this situation I do have Felicia, which will allow me to restore HP, and I don't have other defense reduction debuffs on this team, so it is fine to use it, but it is very specific. Usually you're not going to use Providence. It is possible to use it, so keep that in mind. And besides, I'm at level 33, step 31. So if I was on a different step, I wouldn't use it. If I was, I don't know, on step 40, step 60, I wouldn't use that one. Wait a moment. Yeah, I did change it to red. So as you can see, it deals a ton of damage. Unfortunately, again, without Serpent Blaze, I have to go and defeat all the enemies instead of just auto-killing them. And there we go. Nice. Yeah, so red is another viable option, especially because most of the supporters you need for red are F2P, unlike green, which most of them are gacha supporter or limited supporters. So yeah, red and blue are F2P options, but green is the better one. Not only because of the supporters, but also because of the effects within the skills. Okay, bye-bye. There we go. A huge amount of damage in no time. Yeah, so what do you think about Astaroth? I know that people usually don't like her because of the super auto play style. Like, you just have to push one button and that's it. And the fact that she decides to go melee, I don't know why they kept these skills. I would have given her something different rather than Phoenix Dive and Flame Haze. Even Phoenix Dive is okay, but Flame Haze, come on. Could you change it to something that doesn't go for the enemy? She's not supposed to do that. And Prominence, oh god. Yeah, As you saw, there's the option to use it. Yes, it is possible, but not the kind of thing you want to do in high-end content. So yeah, just to finish, I'm just going to farm a little bit more on step 41, just like yesterday. But now it's your turn to tell me, what do you think would be some good changes, or would have been some good skill updates, or uh, rebalancing for Astaroth? I mean, what they did, I liked, but I think they could have done better. As I told you, I think like 3 of her skills don't synergize well enough with her playstyle. The 2 skills that uh, throw her at the enemy, and the 1 skill that requires you to take a hit. Yeah, it would be best if she could focus more on escaping from an enemy and repositioning herself. Like if that counter skill would also teleport her to another part of the stage where she isn't near the enemy, that would be cool. But even so, you needing to take a hit is not ideal. I would do that on a perfect evade skill or something like that. What kind of changes would you like to see on Astaroth? I mean, it's gonna be a while until we receive other updates for her, but there's always the possibility that they do so. I mean, this is the characters are released, then they receive their character pack, which gives them an update, and after that they receive the new character weapon, which also gives them an update and the rework, visual rework, a new weapon, skill update. I'm not sure if we're gonna receive more of those. Maybe like some kind of campaign for multiple characters with small tweaks, because it would be a very slow process to rebalance uh, old characters, because there's gonna be more characters in the future, and they also have to apply all the things that I just mentioned to them, the limited pack, and then the rework for the model and the skills. So yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen with Astaroth, but as she stands, I do like her. I think that she's gonna be, I wouldn't say top tier, because she does have the flaw of uh, rushing to the enemies to get an attack buff, and also the fact that she doesn't recover HP by herself. Well, with the new weapon she does, but like just a little. But she does deal a huge amount of damage, and if you deal a huge amount of damage, then you recover a lot of HP, even with just 6% HP recovery. If I have the opportunity, if I get enough copies of the weapon, I will try it out and I'll see how good it is. But unfortunately, I usually don't roll on standard banners. I only roll on limited banners or seasonal banners. You know, the like the Halloween banner, the Christmas banner, the New Year banner, which are kind of limited. They are not on the standard pool, but they work with normal gacha coins. So yeah, that's the thing. What about you guys? How do you spend your resources? Do you do the half cost roll on every banner to get mileage? Do you only roll on limited banners like me? Do you only roll for the characters that you like? So I would like to know that. What about your accounts? Do you have only specific characters and the ones that you don't like or you don't find appealing you don't build? Or do you get them all? Just like me. I used to wait for them to be released with tickets, but now that they release their limited packs before they are available with a free ticket from the few events that give them, I do buy them all beforehand. And by buy I mean with gems. I don't actually buy the character packs. I think even the character packs from the rework aren't that great. With a few exceptions. For example, Kurenai's pack gives the limited Halloween weapon, which isn't that good, but hey, Halloween's good for a weapon, okay. There's also Momochi's character pack, which has her unique weapon with a different effect than most weapons, and also the same goes for Eleanor. So yeah, usually when we receive a character which shares a weapon with another character, their weapon in the pack has a different skill, so that they are kind of unique in that way. But I think they I don't remember. Hebico uh, also shares weapon with Sakura. So no, Hebico no. Before Hebico we had Eleanor. Before Eleanor we had who was it? I don't even remember. But yeah, nowadays they don't give that crappy weapon skill to the weapon in the package, in the character pack, but even so, they are not busted enough to to be uh, to be worth it. For example, Eleanor's weapon on the character pack gave HP, but now it is something good. But the bad thing about it is that you have to use Demonite in order to increase the S level, because you only get one weapon. I need to do a couple more. I'm gonna increase the difficulty level to uh, uh, hurry up and get some gems, maybe, if I manage to surpass 75. And yeah, Eleanor's weapon seemed appealing because it gave HP recovery, which is a rare trait nowadays. Some characters do have skills with HP recovery, but uh, it is not as necessary for content with multiple characters, because you can just put Felicia on it and that's it. But if you want to do solo content, then HP recovery is kind of important. For example, when you're starting the game, HP recovery is going to be super useful. Characters like Kurenai, for example, are easy to use with green. Green is probably her best color. I mean, red is also good, but I don't like the way in which her it's not a counter skill. It's like following attack. Yeah, because you can use it after using an attack. Yeah, whenever you use that red attack, uh, it gives you HP, but it doesn't give that that big amount of HP. It only gives you a lot of HP if you hit many enemies, but usually you don't. Or well, depending on the content, of course. For dailies, yes. For challenging content, no. Okay, enough. Die already. Oh. Wait a moment. This is the third time I beat her? No, it's the second one, right? On this stage. No, it's the third one. Okay. She's done. Ooh, nice. I love this. I still need more of this. I am missing one Magatama set, one character set for demons. That's like 15 hammers. And I'm also missing 2 Magatama sets for machine and human. So that's 30. I'm missing like... let's see. No. It's 20. It's 20 because it's 5 per Magatama. And it's 4 Magatamas per character. So it's 20 per set. I need 20 for demon. I need 40 for machine and 40 for human. So I need 100 of those to have full damage UR Magatamas for each trade. Yeah, so I mean, now I'm only buying those. I'm waiting for the VR weapon because, as I said, that thing won't appear in my store whenever I want it. It used to appear a lot, and now that I have the coins and I'm saving for that, it's not appearing. I just hate it. They should be available like guaranteed on certain days or something. What do you think about the store? Is it like okay with the selection? Are there any items you would like to see purchasable on this VR store, both in the permanent shop and the random shop? Oh, I didn't notice. There's no damage reduction for my specific trade. No, I don't think I'm going to be able to beat her. Come on. I'm going to try. But why do I say I don't think I'm going to be able to beat her? Because of the... Yeah, because of the timer. I don't have enough damage with only 2 characters. So I need to debuff. Yeah, look at that. No, forget it. I'm just going to do this and open it up again. Yeah, usually I don't do that because I usually farm on level 41 because it's easier, but I want the crystals. Now that I have more... Not here. Here. Now that I have more damage Magatamas. And I won't use the scrolls because I already have too few of them and I don't want to buy them. Those I will use once I'm able to pass level 100, I guess. I mean, it's been more than a year, I think, since VR release, and now and I'm still not able to go to level 1 to step 100. So what step do you farm on, guys? Like usually. When VR started, I farmed on step 12 or something like that. Then I went to 20, and then for a huge amount of time, I kept farming on step 31. I would go up and down, but for the most part, I did step 31 for the consistency, and now I do step 40, 41. But what about you? Are you able to constantly farm higher steps? What kind of strategies do you use or characters? Uh, I do Astaroth because I don't want to be button smashing everything. I just want to chill while farming. That's why I build her so much. Because 90% of all gacha games is farming. And it's better to just build your farmer and then some other characters that you use in challenging content and just for fun. For example, in Fate, I use um, any kind of AoE attacker that I have, along with the classic three. Yeah, I'm still missing the classic three main supporters: Merlin, no, Koyanskaya, Castoria, or Skadi, depending on the MP. But I also use other characters like Super Orion for challenging content or just for fun, just to see him do big damage. And I think I can lose this one. Yeah, so no, I won't. I won't. I mean, when you lose, you still get coins, but I prefer to keep progressing. Or I'm like 5 steps away from getting more crystals. So yeah, I'm just gonna do one more try, and that's gonna be it. So yeah, are there? Are you playing the new? Well, not new, but the other Taimanin game, the RPGX. I am, but it's like I don't find it appealing. I just wanted to check it. It has the arrow scenes, but I mean you can look for them on the internet if you want to. But uh, I heard it's gonna get more kinds of content, but all of it comes to auto farming rather than having challenging content. Well, it does have challenging content in the form of raids and other things, and I'm not too knowledgeable about it, so I'm just checking this and the next month to see if it convinced me. I prefer something challenging like Hard Nights. I'm not good at Hard Nights, but I do manage to force my way through content with my 6 stars. Iron Ace is such a good gacha. It's very generous in my opinion. I just got 2 copies of the limited character on the free rolls, on the free daily rolls. Like the first day I got it on the first roll, on the free roll, and then the next day after that, I also got a copy of the limited character, and it was like, wait, what? Yeah, I love Arknights. I don't check the story. It is lengthy, but I know it has good story, and that's it. Yeah, there we go. So I'll just uh, I'll just stop here, and we'll be seeing each other soon, I guess. Whenever I have time, I'm gonna do this. I know that on the weekend I probably won't have time, but I'll be seeing you next time. And remember, if you like the video, follow, subscribe, blah blah blah. So, see you guys. Bye.